of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Carrie, Kelly. Right, face. Oh, arch. Arch.
Start with our roll call. Phil McKay, the chair, is here. Lisa is not. Kelly's here. Dennis is not. Shanae, no. Tim is here. And we have one vacant seat. This is the part where we have public comments. We limit it to 3 minutes. Is there anybody who wants to speak on anything?
Yeah, I would.
Hold on just a second. We have Mrs. Siobhan first here, slated.
Breathe in. Arms. Order. Arms. Close. Close. Right. Face. Oh, arch.
Real quick, prior to that, we don't let everybody know we don't have a quorum here tonight. We have some members missing, so we won't be able to be conducting any official business or being able to vote on any matters. But we're going to go through our regular meeting and listen to our guest speakers and our community members.
My granddaughter is in Cadet Corps, and my husband is a Vietnam-era veteran. And for our veterans, I just can't say enough of how thankful we are to all of you. As you guys look at the Vietnam Wall today, I want you to be aware that there are veterans who still suffer. They are dying as we speak. They are dying a living death as we go. They suffer from disease that was not recognized until the PACT Act went into effect in August of 2022. Just this last year, we are recognizing the diseases that have been in place that you all know so well. My husband suffers from a very rare disease called cortical basal syndrome. He took part in a clinical trial with a drug manufactured by Biogen, and the name of that drug is gosuranemab. But because that drug is not marketable to the masses, it is not worthy of Biogen continuing to produce that drug to save our veterans. And I think it's important that that story be told. Veterans have an extremely hard time of getting into the healthcare side and showing their story and telling their story and telling of things that are actually working. We have a website. On that website, it tells our story. And within that, there is a section that is called The Tale of Two Vets. I would encourage you, if you have the opportunity, to read that. The access that my husband has to this drug ends in June of 2023. He will begin to die. And that is a whole cold, hard fact. When there is a drug that is available and profit comes before veterans. I believe the Veterans Creed states that until they are home, no man left behind. And I would say, until we have provided health care and we have done what needs to be done, there is still much to do. And I think for Roseman, it will start with the wall, but that is just the beginning. It is by no means the end. There is still much to be done. I have an envelope that lists our website, that lists our YouTube channel. We would appreciate anybody that would share that information, and anybody that has any access into the powers that be on the Veterans Health side, we would appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir?
About the Vietnam Wall. You know how much it's gonna bring to your community as far as business, okay? It's gonna add so much to your community. Your community's growing up. It's a township now, right?
No, this, no.
Huh?
Still unincorporated.
Still like, all right. Well, if you're gonna go into a city, this is the way to do it. Palmdale, the Road Ones Motorcycle Club, which we're the only one who represents Roseman, okay? We left the American Legion and started this club because the American Legion neglected us in Palmdale. Now Palmdale wants to neglect the wall because of booking, and you folks are gonna bring it here. Smartest thing you ever did.
Any other public comments?
Hi everyone. Maybe I have to look at my
What was your name?
I don't like public speaking, so please forgive me for looking at my phone a bit for notes. It's not so much an issue as much as I just like to come and introduce myself. I am a local artist. My name is Abby. I've been living in Roseman for 4 years now with my husband and my 2 beautiful boys. I've yet to actually know about these meetings or take part. And so for the last couple of years, I've been doing a lot of community creative work, but those opportunities have mostly come to me in Palmdale and Lancaster. But I live here, you know. So I've been doing things like free things for anywhere from our youth to our seniors. And when I say creative work, it's not just simple things like painting and crafting. It can go so much like beyond that scope. So pretty much like this year and moving forward, I want to connect more with our community, our local businesses. I want to make our town more beautiful inside and out. I think creative work can do a lot for anybody, mentally, emotionally, physically, and I want to bring those opportunities here. And I just, I'm hoping that by introducing myself here today that I can connect more with people that are also looking toward making that change.
Thank you. Anybody?
My name is Frances Thompson, and I had the opportunity yesterday to sit through a talk from the people that are putting on together the Edmonds Museum, which is going to be that way. And what a boon that would be for us in Roseman, so they'll have to come through here. They expect 250,000 people to go to that museum annually. So I'd like all the businesses and all the people here to support this, because it would be a really good thing for our community also. Okay, thank you.
Good day, my name is Robert Mejia. I'm the quartermaster for VFW Post 9657 here in Roseman. I've just been re-elected as a second term quartermaster. My job is to community, helping the community out with events, veterans, because you're right there. I've just been nominated as the service officer for the district of this area. So I'll be going into training about helping veterans of their needs. So yes, I know there's a lot of veterans out here. I was told that today, and police officers and sheriffs would back them up as well. We're going to support the Vietnam Wall coming into town. I'm going to make sure that goes out through the state, so that way they know what we're going to be doing and participating in the community. As a community outreach, our young soldiers, and if they know anything about respect of the flag, I would invite them to come down and do a flag ceremony, because we do have a lot of flags that need to be retired. And I know the service officers for them will probably lead that up. But my job here is to ensure that the community has somewhere to go, service our veterans, and we are open 7 days a week, and we're going to be having a cleaning party at our post this weekend. If you have any outreach concerns, or like a paint party, I think where is she at, the local artist? You're right there. Okay. Come see me. I'll give you my card, and I do need some painting on my building of some murals of veterans. So a little bit of donating time, maybe get a little assistance in there too. So, but for our cadet corps, if you want to learn more about history about Vietnam, I made golf. I didn't make the first Gulf War, I made the second. I'm a two-time back-to-back OIF, Iraq Freedom veteran. I have 3 branches of service. Started off in the Navy in 1976, did my 6 years, got out of that, created a family, and then I ended up being in the Army for 11 years. Once I was working in the Army, and I was down in San Diego working for the Border Patrol, I was confronted of asking some people. They came up to me and said, "Hey, ever thought about coming into the Air Force?" I was like, "Why? I got a good job, working here in the Army." And they said, "Well, are you tired of living in the dirt?" And I go, "Yeah, kind of. That gets a little boring." "Why? Where are you guys staying at?" "We're in downtown Marriott. You want to go?" So, with that being said, 3 branches of service I have, 35 years. I currently work at Edwards Air Force Base. I'm an F-16 crew chief, and yes, I do a lot of work. So I keep busy, and that's the only thing I do most of the time. But mainly helping our veterans, getting our veterans squared away of any of their needs, and we will support the wall on the movement. Thank you. And I also get a request to be put on the agenda.
Yes. Or give me your card before you leave. Thanks, sir.
All right, anybody else from the public have any comments? There's no other, we'll move on to our community leader reports. We have the Kern County Sheriff's here. Sarge?
Hello, sir.
Do you have any words of wisdom or what's been going on in the...
No, we just came to see the presentation regarding the home.
Okay. All right, how about the California Highway Patrol? Any updates?
Sure, I'll give just a quick update. We're here also to hear about the wall,
Okay.
find out what's going on, as far as the Roseman community and the wall's concerned, so we'll do that. April is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month, so I'll bring that up since we're almost halfway through the month. But we've been through enforcement and education, trying to encourage everybody to put down the phones or distractions or anything that's going to impair your ability to drive. Everybody thinks cell phones, but you can also think of food, drinks, passengers, even your smartwatches if you have one, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So So be careful when you're driving. Our goal out there is want to make sure everybody's safe. Make sure you're safe, getting home, getting to work, getting these meetings, whatever it is. Just be careful out there. We also like to comment too. We've been recovering. In fact, one day we recovered 15 stolen vehicles in between Roseman and Mojave. So if you see something, say something. I know you hear that a lot, but in talking to some of the local residents where we recovered these, a lot of the comments were, "Well, I saw some strange lights out there." Say something. Call 911. Pick up the phone. That's what we're there for. That way we can stop it before more cars get stolen and stripped and destroyed. So please, if you see something, call 911. Don't be afraid. Report whatever you're saying. That way maybe we can stop some of this before it happens. So.
And what was your name again, sir?
Aaron Maurer, Public Information Officer.
Perfect. Thank you,
Mojave
sir.
office.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
So thank you.
And Kern County Fire Department, Carlos from Simply Conlocky's office.
Hi, good evening. I know I'm going to push it. Good evening. My name is Carlo Basile. I'm the Assemblyman Tom Lackey's field representative. We're busy in Sacramento. I came here to tell you, and also to listen, because that's the equal part. You know, you don't just talk about what you're doing. You want to know what's happening. I didn't know about the AV wall. That's great to know. It's things like that happen, pop up and happen. But in the legislative sense, we have about 11 bills that Tom Lackey introduced this year, and they're plus he has a couple other ones that are like what they call co-authored, which means it's more than just supporting and voting for. And one of the co-authored bills is AB 46, I think it is. It's from Ramos. It has to do with the granting exemptions on income tax, state income tax, for military retirees. It'll help out not just the military retirees that are like 70, 80 years old, because it'll take some of the problems about making your income tax a little lower. It's also going to help out on the workers, because this is aimed not just at retirees, it's also aimed at actual workers like Mr. Mejia here, and who are still working and may be receiving benefits. And so we want them to keep working in California, and that's why it's one of the best bills I've heard of. That's why Assemblyman Lackey is going for it. The other bill that is my deal is my favorite is Assemblyman Lackey is pushing a bill having to do with juvenile halls. They've gotten rid of a database. He wants to bring it back. The database has to do with abuse, injuries that occur in juvenile halls, because we can't have kids. Juvenile halls are part of the deal, but I mean, we have to be more responsible. You can't have a group of people just falling off the wayside. You know, did somebody get injured? I don't know. Wait a minute, we know. All right, that's what we should be doing. And Assemblyman Lackey proposed this bill, and hopefully you'll see it through to the end. Otherwise, if you have any questions about the DMV, about the unemployment, DMV could be big, please contact our office, 661-267-7636, 661-267-7636, and call me up, let me know. There's a little paperwork to get an authorization from you so we can look into your case, but we're more than ready to help you guys with any problem you might have with the state. Otherwise, thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
See you next time.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Laura Lynn White. I'm District Director for Kern County Supervisor Zach Scribner's office. Your guest speakers tonight are the County Department, Health and Human Services. So I'm going to make my report really quick so that I can yield some of my time to them. I wanted to report to this group there were 166 illegal dump sites cleaned up in District 2 just in the month of March. One of them was on Holiday, so right here in Rosemont, and I think there was another one too, but I forgot the name of the street. So we post a video every month called Rapid, and it's the crew that goes out and does these, cleans up these dump sites. There's before and after pictures on all of it, on all the social media for the county, if you're interested in watching that. Rosemont Boulevard repaving project has been delayed. It is delayed because there are two very, very large private construction projects that are going on that we were going to be in their way and they were going to be in our way, and we didn't want to have beautiful, fresh, clean asphalt and then have a bunch of heavy equipment driving over it immediately afterwards. So the repaving project has been delayed. I will keep everybody posted as to when that moves forward. And quickly, I will share that the pool is on track. I was over there this morning and they were putting the rebar down and getting ready to pour the new decking. So they're telling me this summer. They're not giving me an exact date. The County Parks Department is working very closely with the school district. They need 15 lifeguards. If they're going to be, yeah, come on guys. Lifeguards, summer job. You do get certified through the Red Cross, but if we want to have the pool open 7 days a week because of time that they're allowed to be on the deck and mandatory breaks that are state law, things like that. We need 15 lifeguards to be open 7 days a week. So you're gonna see a lot of that on social media, getting pushed out shortly. So that's what I have for today. Yes, sir? I believe you have to be at least 16. Got it, we got you. I believe. I will give you my business card and you can call me, okay? Great. Say thanks, everybody.
Jack from the chamber.
Jack Miller, Vice President, Chamber of Commerce. Let's see, what's going on? We're getting ready to start construction on the event center for the green room and storage. We have elections for our board of directors coming up next month, May 20. We had our luncheon today, and we love our luncheons because it's a great casual setting to where a lot of the business, counties, schools, and different groups can get together and just kind of network and talk, and so are people and stuff like that. And so we had a great meeting today. We got some events coming up in the future. Armed Forces Day Parade and September Fest will be coming up in September. We're also going to be working with VFW, and we're going to do a car show sometime this year. Probably August?
9/11.
9/11. So we're going to do a car show on 9/11. So I think that's about it. I did drop by and saw the pool today. It's looking gorgeous out there. It really is. So kudos to Laura and the county for pulling that through. So that's all I got.
All right, thank you, sir. Barbara, you need some people to
Good evening, everyone. I want to begin by saying that Southern Kern Unified School District would be truly honored to host the wall at West Park Elementary School, and we're optimistic that this is going to happen. So keeping our fingers crossed, and anything we can do, please continue to let us know. I get a little giddy when I see my cadet corps folks here, so I'm just sorry. They make my hair on my arms stand up. Such an amazing group. We have a combination here this evening of Tropico and high school cadets. And Major Cahill, do you still have close to 200 at Tropico?
They reduced my class size a little bit.
Okay.
So I currently am about 158.
158. And Captain Wallace? 90. So you can see that the Tropico is going to feed into the high school. Captain Wallace is going to be very, very busy in a few years to come, but an outstanding group of young people. Give you a brief update what's going on in Southern Kern. We've started state testing, CASP testing at a couple of our schools, and this will run through May until by the time we get all the makeups done and everything. We're optimistic that we're going to have some good scores. Our math is looking better, so you never know until the scores come out, but kids do a great job on that math for me. We also opened our new parent community center on Tuesday evening, and Orlin was there, and also we had a representative from Assemblyman Lackey's office. Thank you so much for being there. We had a good turnout, and we will initially open the Parent Community Center from 9:30 to 12:30, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and also on Wednesdays from 3:30 to 6:30 until everyone in the community, the parents, know when it's open, and if we need to open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we will certainly consider that. We have already received DSA approval on the new high school cafeteria. It is a $15 million project, so we hope to go out to bid and get started on that in early summer, June-ish. And it's a spectacular building. I'm the kids who are here from the high school know that one of the most needed buildings on that campus is a new cafeteria. So we're very excited about that. We're just moving along and growing. Our enrollment continues to maintain. We are not a declining district. You've heard me say that before, which is a good thing. And just very proud to serve in this community.
Thank you.
One question, Ms. Haynes. What kind of services can be sought after at the Parent Community Center?
At the Parent Community Center, it's basically centered around student success, but we want to educate our parents on things like mental health issues, drug awareness, human trafficking. We also want to help them apply for FAFSA for kids bound for college. It's just all centered around students and what we can do to help the students.
One last question. I mean, I have 4 kids in grade school, so it's like schooling is important. But what kind of resources do we have for adults who are maybe trying to go back to school? Or do we have anything like that offered currently?
We have an adult education program that is right. It's a program that is managed by the Antelope Valley Union High School District, Antelope Valley College, and Southern Kern Unified School District. So the program is right next to the superintendent's office, those buildings. We lease them to the adult education program. And we also have Roseman Higher Ed College campus is aligned to Antelope Valley Community College. We are a dual enrollment program. We just placed a new college and career counselor at Roseman High to help the students take college classes at the same time they're in high school. So they could graduate with a high school diploma and an AA degree if they work hard.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody here from the Antelope Valley Citizens for Responsible Water? Edwards Airport? Gretchen, do you have anything from the Historical Society?
We're still looking for a museum.
Okay.
So if anyone has any ideas, we have a lot of things in my barn that need to be where public can access them.
Perfect. All right, now we'll get to our guest speakers, Allison and Paula. So one of the things what interests us about having them come up, I've grown up here. I'm not going to say what year I graduated from Roseman High School. I don't want to date myself too bad. But the attitude's always been services are in Bakersfield. If you want services, go to Bakersfield. And our tax dollars, we send our tax dollars up, we should get something from, and they're here to explain what services are going to be coming down here and what they offer, and it should be very interesting. I'll turn it over to you guys.
Absolutely, thank you. So my name is Allison Botal, like he said, and this is Paula Hernandez. And before we begin, I want to show we've brought some stuff for you guys, our business cards and some information about what we can provide. So the Kern County Department of Human Services, some of you guys might already know what we provide when it comes to, the part of it about, CalFresh and Medi-Cal. If you're not familiar, CalFresh is our food EBT program, and Medi-Cal is low-cost coverage for families that are qualified. We also have CalWorks, which is basically if you are currently a job seeker or if you are unemployed, CalWorks will retrain you, will tell you how to interview, and basically try to hand you a job. They'll use all the tools they can to get you back into employment. It's a fantastic service, and it's not one that people know about. On the other side of it, on the other side of the house, we have Child Protective Services, and it would be bad of me not to mention that this month is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and one of our big pushes is resources. So that's one of the best reasons why we're here today. I looked it up, and I just want to say I love that you guys have a parent resource center that's opening up. The closest resource center through the Kern County Superintendent of Schools is in Mojave. And this resource center provides emergency needs. If you guys do ever need it, they do emergency food and clothing, court-mandated parenting classes, They provide like rental assistance programs, school readiness programs, and they are called the East Kern Family Resource Center. So they are meant for you guys, but obviously that is in Mojave, not here. And so we understand that barrier. If you guys do have questions about the CPS side of it and child abuse prevention and all that we're doing for that, you can talk to me. I am the communications division. If you have questions specifically about CPS, we have Susan here tonight, who I will defer those types of questions for. So the final thing, the thing that we really are here to talk about is our outreach plan. So currently we don't have an office here in Roseman, we have an office in Mojave. Now we want to change that, not to have a district office, but we are going to have a mobile district office. So this is part of a bigger plan for us to outreach outlying areas. And our hope is to have this RV on the road twice a month in these outlying areas, including this area. And it's going to be a district, like I said, a district office on the road. What that means is you will be able to apply, to have your interview, and to receive your benefits through this RV. And now it's through a grant called the SNAP grant. It's a federal grant. SNAP is basically the federal version of CalFresh. And we were given this specifically, we applied because we saw this need. And what we currently do, what our current efforts are, and if you were at an event the first weekend of April, you would have seen us there, is we pass out information to help you guys apply online and tell you where you can apply. So you can currently apply on benefitscal.com. But if you want that face-to-face connection, if you need it, that is something that we want to be able to give to you guys, because currently that waiting time might be too much. It might be too long for you guys. So if we can take these needs on the road to where you guys are, that would be ideal. So what we need from you guys, and why we're leaving our card here, is we want to connect with the businesses, the organizations, the events, because we want to be able to know where we can bring this RV to when we get it in about a year. But in the meantime, we also want to know what events we need to be attending with our HSTs who process the applications, to be able to come out and answer questions that the community have right now in the interim. So if you guys have any questions now about this plan or any suggestions, we are willing to listen and write it down.
Allison, real quick on, let's say I've been seeing quite a few homeless, where people become homeless, they get kicked out of their apartments. Are there vouchers available in Mojave or Roseman for hotels, or do they have to go big?
That is a great question. DHS just recently launched a housing assistance unit. So this does not have to take place in person, it is a phone number. So if you know about our hotline, it is on the back here, and you say that you are looking for housing assistance. There is temporary and there is permanent. And the great thing about this housing assistance unit number, that your hotline that you're calling, is if you do not qualify for what DHS can offer you, we will give you to one of our partners. But it's not just a throwaway, like here's a phone number. We will literally say, connect you with that partner, and that partner will take over your case and help you to find temporary housing or permanent housing, depending on your situation.
Now, is there an emergency voucher? So if somebody, like I said, they get kicked out and they're on the street, is there like an emergency voucher where they don't have to wait weeks to get it? We can put them in a motel locally instead of having to try and get them to Bakersfield or Mojave.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure. I am going to say that their best case would be to get them on the housing assistance list through the housing assistance unit. I know that there are vouchers, but I can't guarantee that because there's a lot of things that you have to do in order to qualify for those things. So I can't guarantee it, but I know that the housing assistant unit is going to be the best place to direct those people, because those are the professionals that will be able to, and I know that it is a fast turnaround, and I know there are temporary 7-day hotel stays that they will pay for, and Mojave is set up as a district office, so they should be able to get that assistance there.
Any questions from the?
Perfect. If there's no questions, we're going to leave you guys with these amazing fancy pens that we just got. They're gel pens, so they're the good ones. And we're going to leave you with our business cards and information on Benefits Cal and child abuse reporting. Once again, please reach out to us. We really want to get connected with this community.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So the partners, so like probably public-private partnerships that we have, how would an organization become a partner if we have a place locally that could handle something like that? How would we send them to you to become a partner potentially?
Absolutely. You reach out to us.
Okay.
We partner with agencies that are willing to be partnered with. We're never going to say no to somebody who has the same mission and values as DHS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you very much for coming up.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
All right. So I had the pleasure of hearing the presentation today at the chamber meeting. So representatives for the AV Walk.
I'm just gonna wait there.
Thanks for hooking me up.
I have all the printed materials here if anybody wants any stuff to
Yeah.
back up when you say.
Good evening. My name is Joshua. I'm a resident of Rosemont and United States Marine Corps veteran, as well as a member of Point Man, Antelope Valley. It's too bad there's no interest in this wall, but with that being said, I'll just kind of get down to the nuts and bolts of it. Linda is actually a founding member of the AV Wall Committee. It was an idea that came up to make a mobile Vietnam memorial wall that could be shared with our community, the Antelope Valley, Southern California. It came up in 2005. By 2009, they had generated all the money needed. They got the community support and did all the fundraising needed. And in 2009, it was Joe Davies Heritage Park where it was first dedicated, first put up, Air Park. Basically, this wall is a half-scale replica of the Vietnam Memorial Wall in DC. It contains the names of 58,281 men and women who died in the Vietnam conflict. I've been to it numerous times. I've helped with the escort, and I can tell you that with the amount of people in this room, that's how many different reactions, emotions, and reasons for being there that you're going to get. Our town population is 20,500 as of the last census. It was also shown that we have 1,896 veterans in our community. That's a 9% veteran population. That's 3 times the national average. As you come up the freeway, you hit Avenue A where you have the Kern County sign that says, "Welcome to Kern County. We honor our veterans." I'm here today to bring an idea of where we can put our money where our mouth is. In my mind, when we all come around this community, people are itching for something. We want something. We need something to bring us together. And the best analogy I could come up with, and forgive me, but we're like a bunch of scrap metal that's laid out and we're waiting for that magnet to scoop us all up and bring us together. The beautiful part of the wall is the wall's motto is most walls keep people out, this wall brings people together. The plan, if this is all approved and we can get Rmac, the chamber, school district, the county, we bring everybody together, the plan would be to escort the wall into town on November 8th. It would be set up and then it would be open 24 hours a day until it comes down Monday morning, November 13th. Anybody could come see it at any time of day. We would have volunteers that would help work it, and I'll get into the nuts and bolts of it in a little bit. But there's also the opportunity for our students to have Vietnam veterans who could speak to them about their experiences and what the wall means to them and see this wall. It gives the opportunity for people in our community and surrounding communities to be able to come out and see this memorial that most of them would never have a chance to go to DC and see for themselves. The nuts and bolts of it when it comes down to it, to bring the wall to our community would cost $7,500. But I think she already stepped out. The county was willing to pitch in some money for it. We have several local businesses willing to pitch in money for it. This idea came to light about 3 weeks ago. And just between me and a few other people, we've garnered enough support that you can see. We've got Rogue Ones here, the Cadet Corps, we've got business owners, we have the county sheriff's support, the fire department. We've garnered a lot of support for this so far. We have 6 months until that wall would come here. Imagine what we can do. As long as we as a community can come together and get this done, many hands make light work. And yes, I have a letter from your office, but it came from Pamela. I will say it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to take the community to bring this together. It's going to take the community to work it. We're going to need to get insurance. We need to hire a security guard for the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. hours because it's open 24 hours. We need to put together a ceremony for Veterans Day. But if we took that $7,500 and we doubled it and called it $15,000, that's $8 per veteran that lives in our community. Personally, I think they've earned it. But that's just my thought. There's only one promise I can make you, and that is that if everything works out and we all put in the hard work that it's going to take to do this, to honor our veterans in our community and the surrounding communities, we're going to be tired. We're going to have aches and pains. We're going to go home on the night of November 12th, and you're going to sit down. But when you think about the stories you hear, the people you meet, the reasons they were there, and all the emotions you felt, the joy that's going to fill your heart will make every single one of your aches and pains go away. It's the only promise I'll make to you. Now, if anybody has any questions, I'm dumb, but Linda's smart. She can answer them all.
I have the printed materials too.
She's also got tons of materials for us. I also need to thank Rogue Ones for showing up for their support. The Cadet Corps, thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. Sheriff's Department, Highway Patrol, Fire Department, everybody who came in here and supported this so far, I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support, guys. Thank you.
I've got You're saying we needed about 60 volunteers, right, at a minimum?
Yeah, and that's something that as we kind of get word throughout the community, we'll get people to volunteer. We have volunteers that come from Palmdale and Lancaster who work this wall every year that it's set up in Palmdale. They will come out. So getting 60 volunteers to help.
I don't know, I have no doubt.
Yes.
This community will come
Yes.
together, and it's a tight-knit community, and
yeah, we're
I think
going
we
to
get it
need,
done.
I mean, we've got to get security. When the wall does come out, they do bring their own computers with the database so that you could walk up with, let's say you wanted to look up Rosemont. There is one man from Rosemont who was killed in action and is on the wall. He's on panel 11 East, I looked it up.
Oh, I haven't looked at that yet. Okay, I'm looking at this.
And that hasn't even gotten into Rosemont, Cal City, Mojave, Tehachapi, our surrounding communities. But as was pointed out, it took off, didn't it? As my fellow jarhead pointed out, the amount of people that will come to see this and take part in the celebration or the ceremonies that we have, they've got to come through our town. They're going to partake in the businesses in our town. They're going to get hungry. They're going to need gas. They're going to need snacks. Whatever it may be. Our businesses will be able to benefit from it. Our community has an opportunity to come together. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, if you don't mind me asking, but will us students be able to participate in the wall?
Yes, there are opportunities. I believe our volunteers that actually work the wall, they've got to be 18. They've got to be 18, but the ceremonies that we can put on is plenty of opportunities for all of you to help partake in it as well. We will need a color guard out there. People to help work the entrances and welcome the visitors that are coming in. So yes, there are plenty of opportunities.
Josh, how many people typically come and see it over the Veterans Day weekend? Or Linda, I should say.
We could get.
It depends on where it's located. 1,500, 6,000. I mean, there's a range. It depends on where we're located and saturation of that area. We've been in Palmdale multiple times.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say one thing to add to what Josh was talking about. Man, I got my back to everybody. I'll go up here. Was that, when the wall was, when we decided to build the wall and the idea came up and everything, we raised the funds and everything. The idea, and it's in the original name, it's the Mobile Vietnam Memorial Wall, but it had an original name that was For the Antelope Valley was the tag. So this is not Palmdale's wall. This is the Antelope Valley and surrounding areas wall. We've been to Ridgecrest, we've been as far as Bishop, we've been as far south as El Centro because they requested and they hosted the wall. So this is not Palmdale's wall. It's Palmdale's lost, you're correct. This year, they opted out. They said, nope, we don't have room for you and we don't have funds for you this year. Okay, that's fine. I work for the city of Palmdale for 28 years this year. I work at the Palmdale Playhouse. I'm the production stage manager, so I'm very involved in the building when the wall goes up or whatever. So I can tell you, we have very excited that Rosamond, which is part of the Antelope Valley and part of our local NR. So if this works out, we're very happy for that, just so you guys know.
Yes, ma'am.
Out of curiosity, we had the opportunity, we've been to the mall numerous times.
Yeah, thank you.
46.
Huh?
46 times. Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. No,
Oh, okay.
I've been at least 40.
But I was so impressed with how they did it this last year with the local pictures.
Oh, thank you.
Of everybody, and I
Yeah.
thought they just did a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
And so, with them being so vested, what is their reasoning for opting out for this next year? Is there something that Roseman needs to be aware of?
No, oh, no, not at all. Oh, no, we would never do that. No. I think that the Antelope Valley, the Palmdale especially has been saturated, to tell you the honest to goodness truth. The attendance was lower, and it's like, it's been in Palmdale Amphitheater so many times, over and over and over. And so, and that's because that's our home base. Yes?
There still was over 1,000 people.
Oh, no, way.
And for a saturated event,
Oh,
not
geez.
bad.
Oh, no, way over. But I just think that, I don't know. We have a new city manager, and I don't want to say any more than that, but we have a new city manager, and she just said, yeah, no thanks. And I was shocked, but I was pleased. Because I was like, you know what?
Another check.
I think, and we as a board, I'm the operations secretary, as a board, we discussed, do other areas know that we're available to them? Or do they just think we belong to Palmdale? They have the lock on us, which nothing could be further from the truth. It's just that they say, hey, we want the wall, we take it to Palmdale. It's where it was dedicated. Not in the amphitheater, but Deer Park. And so it just sort of is, we're just a rotation of that, you know? And it doesn't have to be that way at all. So it is available. And we would love to come up here. And it's close to home. Yes?
I had the privilege of volunteering last year to help set up the wall.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Awesome.
So
I know.
I
You were there though, yeah.
It was truly amazing to see.
Yeah. When it comes out of the trailer, it's individual panels. And the second it starts to like take form, you go, like you lose your breath. And as many times as I've done it, as many times as I've been involved in it, it does the same thing to me every single time. Every single time. You stand there and you look at it and you go, oh wow. It just went from panels in a little 14-foot trailer to a memorial wall. Just like that. So yeah, you're right. It's
You
magical.
come back and see it at night.
Yeah.
It's
magical.
Yes, sir.
I take a lot of pride in this. My name is Rick Ruiz. I'm president of Rogue One's MC. So we always get all the bikers together from American Legion, Veterans United, the VFW. This is our second year if we get the opportunity to do it. But this picture here doesn't do justice. That was over 150 bikers that showed up to escort that wall. And
that was the 10th
for,
anniversary, right?
Yeah, that was 19. Yeah, that was a 19, yeah.
And so
That was crazy.
to be there, just to set up those walls, the moment you're bringing them out, there is a moment of silence and everybody's just, ready to, carry those panels. But to see those names on those panels, it gets to you. You see that all these people that made those sacrifices, we don't know exactly how each one died, but you know that they died out there. So for the younger ones, my boys have been able to join and carry those panels. This will be my 7th year. So I enjoy it a lot. During COVID, it sucked because we didn't do it for, I think it was 2 years,
Yeah,
right?
we did. We had a 2 year.
2 years. So
yeah, we had to.
when it came back, it was a perfect opportunity because the first year that I started, we did our own road guarding. We didn't have the sheriffs or highway patrol to do the escort. We did it ourselves. So that opened up the door for a lot of the biker community to come out and see that we were doing something bigger than ourselves. So I just encourage everybody, if we do get this opportunity of doing it, to come out and help set up. It's fast. The day goes by fast. And like I said, you do something bigger than yourself. You get to see these names, and it gets to you. At least for me, it does. It's an emotional thing. Her dad, my wife Valerie, served in Vietnam, and so it's always been a big privilege for us to sit there and just be a part of this. My brother Scotty, who went outside. He's a Vietnam veteran.
He came back.
There he is, right there. Come here, sunshine. That guy right there. I mean, he earned his stripes, and he is a wounded soldier, Marine. I'm very proud of this guy. I love this guy. He's the reason why we always are there for Vietnam. But really, if you get the opportunity, I mean, if we do get this opportunity, I encourage everybody just to go out and set up, like I said, for the younger kids, you're able to hold these panels, go with an adult, you know, and you get to talk to someone you never met before, someone who served, whether it's, you know, Vietnam, Gulf, Desert Storm, Iraq, whatever campaign that we're in, you get to just talk for a few seconds. Sometimes you team up with that person, you get the next panel, but like I said, it's a life-changing experience. I encourage everybody, like I said, if we get this opportunity to do it here in our town, I take so much pride, and I just can't wait for that escort to bring it up in this direction.
Remember that, and remember, that's Rosamond, trumping Palmdale, and Kern County, trumping LA County.
That's right, that's right.
Think about it.
That's right, I know.
To touch on what Ricky said about his kids, my kids had perfect attendance last year coming up into Veterans Day. They chose to lose their perfect attendance so that they could go do the escort and help set the wall up. Now the little brats ended up on the front page of the paper for it, but they enjoy it. And my daughter's at school now going, oh yeah, I hope we can get it here because I'd love to be part of it and do it again. And then she asked a question last night before I came to the board meeting for the school district. She said, wait, if I go to the escort, I'll still be at school helping set up, so am I still absent? Yes, sweetie, you're not in class, you're still absent. But they've had the opportunity to meet veterans from every war we've had, from World War II all the way up to Afghanistan, Iraq, Desert Storm, Korea, Vietnam. They understand what the wall means. They understand the sacrifice that every one of these veterans has given. Some of them the ultimate sacrifice, and they ended up on this wall. So I'm hoping that we can get the community together. We can all kind of delegate some different tasks. Many hands make light work, and truly honor our veterans this Veterans Day. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Will you be updating your website on progress to see what you need to do?
You mean if Rosamond decides to host the
Yeah,
What's the deciding factor?
So-
Money and volunteers?
Okay, so you have 3 different entities that I'm gonna get back up, sorry. You have 3 different entities that you come to speak to because you're not a city municipality. Somebody has to take the lead, someone has to be the host. So whether it's this group, whether it's the school district, whether it's the chamber, someone has to be the belly button.
We don't have a city council like most, where we've got a mayor and a
Someone
city
has to make the
council, a
decision.
parks and rec department, a school. We don't have that here. So we have to kind of try and bring these different councils and boards together to get this all done. But I know how our community works, and I have no doubt we can do it as long as everybody supports it.
Right. The main reason for the one person, preferably 1 or 2 people, is because that way we don't get phone calls from 16 different people all year long going, hey, you know what would be a really cool idea, you know what we should do? Because what's going to happen is it's going to drive you crazy, and it's going to make everything splinter out. So if we have 1 person, you guys can have internal meetings, we can attend them if you want. We'll help you plan it. We're very paint by numbers. We have all the materials already. We will fix you right through this whole thing. It's very simple. It's very simple. It's not as daunting as you think. So yes.
We need to have that. What's the date that we have to have?
Well, I was asked by Barbara Gaines to give us a week for them to go back to the board and vote and whatever. So I don't know what your process is, voting or whatever. You guys want to have another meeting when we're long gone, or you want to talk to each other on the phone, just let us know in a couple of weeks, I guess. You know, at the end of April or something. Maybe.
So,
I don't, you know, it's okay. There's no rush, but November is only like, what, 6 months away?
Yeah, so if the school board says yes, and the chamber says yes, and Rmac says yes, and everybody kind of, the next step from there would kind of be getting a few people from each of these groups together.
Make a little committee, yeah.
Make a little committee out of it, delegate one person that's going to communicate with the AV Wall Committee and start delegating tasks from there. If that makes sense. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
We're also the entity that the financial one report back to.
Yeah, we would have to find one of these groups to actually be the financial part of it, where like these other groups could put into that group, and then that group, that entity writes whatever checks they need to. I don't do financial stuff, I'm just here
We
to try
can
and get
figure
this
it all
stuff.
out, that's not even the.
Yes, ma'am.
it's more of
I basically was going to ask a very similar type question because we, we have to be very careful with how we spend our funds. We do not give gifts of public funds, but if we could figure out about was it 7,500?
Yeah,
What's the process for raising that 7,500? I don't think we would have a problem taking the lead and working with the other two entities on it. But if you could give me some more details about the funding aspect, because I would have to get that approved through schools legal and make sure that I don't do anything that's gonna put me on the front page of the Valley Press.
Yeah, I think your participation would be being on your school property, using your campus, using your parking lot.
We can get that figured out.
That kind of thing would be your participation level,
Yeah.
and funding would be something else.
Anything else?
All right.
Thank you very much for your time, I appreciate it.
I guess I just have like a thought. Like, I'm really thankful for the Cadet Corps to come out. My son was in Cadet Corps this year. We pulled him out of Tropico for some behavioral reasons. But my son took a team of Cadet Corps cadets to the, what challenge was that?
Oh, we went to XTC, an Extreme Team Challenge.
And my kid won second place in the entire state out of junior high kids. You guys, first time ever for Tropico.
You're not a problem mom, are you?
That was pretty exciting.
You're not a problem dad, are you?
No.
I'll get you.
So he's actually my least favorite. I've known him the longest. You always think which one you
We all have a
It's almost as which kid's your favorite. Usually it's the one I know the longest, but sometimes it's the opposite. I know it's long. The thing with veterans, I actually have a pretty cool I actually have two cool stories I'd like to share with you guys. So my uncle was a Vietnam veteran. His number was drawn, and he said he wasn't going to go. He didn't have any reason to go. He actually dodged for about a year.
Tell me a little louder, please.
My uncle was a Vietnam veteran. His number was pulled when he was drafted, and he refused to go. And my great-grandfather was a World War II vet. So one day my uncle showed up to my grandma's house, and she started cooking him breakfast. And my grandfather walked upstairs to the office and called the base. And the base showed up. They sent 7 guys to get him. He said, "Can I finish breakfast with my mom?" And they said, "Yeah, 15 minutes." And then he dedicated the rest of his life the rest of his time to being a good soldier. He wanted to come home. He actually was awarded a Bronze Star for bravery in battle. He was able to pull a couple of his battle buddies out of a helicopter before it blew up. And then he got sick. So Mrs. Bradley was sharing her story. My uncle got sick, and in the early 90s, he figured out that he had cancer in his arm from Agent Orange. And it took him 13 years to really get treatment, and now he's 90% disabled. He finally got his money, but it took him a long time. So I understand what Mrs. Bradley was talking about. But then just to honor veterans, my grandfather is Filipino. He was from the Philippines. And I asked him one year, I said, "Grandpa, what was the best day of your life?" And he said, and I expect him to say one of his 13 kids being born, or maybe coming to America. And my grandpa said, he began to describe this scene to me. He said that they'd been fighting the Japanese for years. And then he kind of gotten quiet. And they were on the beach, they were just gathering stuff from the beach. And they heard them first, the planes were flying by, and they were fighting again. And my grandfather ran back to the village and said, "The Americans are back." And that was the best day of his life. So as a son of an immigrant, thank you. You guys are awesome.
All right, hey, thank you everybody for coming, and we look forward to hearing more about the wall and hopefully getting it here in Roseman.
All right.